Welcome back, guys. I'm Griff. This is Mass Effect Andromeda. We're taking, our post-mortem look at it here. And I know, before we really get into this, I know there was some crackling in the audio as far as my commentary goes in some of the past videos. I'm trying, like I said before, this is a whole new setup, so I'm trying to work out the bugs still. I hope I've got that issue addressed here. I did some test runs. I think we're okay, maybe. So we'll see what happens. Just bear with me as I test all of this new stuff out. I also realized as I was playing through the original Mass Effect again that, yeah, I guess the biotics were a little... People were like, oh, biotics are kind of weird and they should be taken to places and trained and junk and all of that. But it didn't seem like the freak out that Cora was expecting. Like, oh my god, you're just gonna kill us all because you're a biotic crazy person. Maybe it's because they didn't do a great job of... making people freak out about Shepard, who had biotic abilities. Nobody like that we rescued in the original Mass Effects were like, don't touch me, biotic crazy person, ew. So
This is what we've been waiting
I
for.
guess that's why it feels like it's not as big of a deal, but it kind of is. I don't know, it's a weird thing. They didn't do a great job on that. And I know everybody's gonna be like, well, what about the facility that Jack was in Mass Effect 2? And I get that, yeah, there were like those extremists that were weird about it, but in general, it wasn't like people were terrified of the biotics. It didn't seem that way anyway. So maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I'm not sure.
It'll be nice to see some friendly faces this time.
The Nexus runs a support crew, just enough to finish building the station and provide safe harbor for the ARCs.
Means we can start waking our people up.
They built a bar, right? Gotta have champagne for the welcome party.
You're expecting one?
After what we've been through, I could use a buzz.
We all could.
Yeah. Rough ride so far.
We'll bounce back. Real food and a shower are just ahead.
I'm so glad that we kept enough hair gel on, our expansion into a new galaxy. We seem to have bought buckets of it. Look at my perfect hair. It's so great. So great.
I don't see any champagne.
Where is everybody?
Right? This is sketch. A little bit. Lights are off.
Well, this can't be right.
It's like everything's on standby.
If it's a surprise party, they're doing an awfully good job of it.
Yes, they're all going to jump out at any minute, Liam. You remember Avina from the original Mass Effect trilogy? Oh, we get a new one. Well, not a new one. I guess it's the same one, but it's here now.
Welcome to the Nexus, gateway to Andromeda. I'm Avina, a virtual intelligence designed to assist you with immigration.
Can you tell us where the welcome party is hiding?
I'm sorry, my code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations. Please select from the following pre-programmed responses.
Yes, pre-programmed as in you have these choices and that's it. So, let's just go ahead and get through all of them. We'll start with where we're at.
What can you tell me about the Andromeda galaxy?
Here in Andromeda, you are over 2 million light years away from the Milky Way galaxy. This is the furthest any life form has ever traveled outside our home system, making you a brave pioneer indeed. The Nexus itself is located in a region known as the Helios Cluster. Here, you and thousands of your fellow colonists will fulfill your dreams of settling a new home. Fortune awaits.
Yes, fortune. Some of those things seem wildly inaccurate. That's okay. Let's talk about immigration.
How does the immigration process work?
We ask that you submit to a brief medical exam to ensure your health and well-being after making such a long journey. Once you've been cleared, our colonization experts will assist you in finding your new home. Please be mindful of the queue. Thousands of eager colonists like you are waiting to begin their new life in Andromeda.
Where? Place
Right?
is deserted.
I don't really think we have to worry about standing in line. That's okay. So, what about the living arrangements?
Where do colonists live?
Once you've cleared immigration, our helpful staff will assist you in choosing the home world of your dreams. Will it be the tropical paradise of Habitat 7, the gentle rolling hills of Habitat 3, or perhaps the mysterious twilight world of Habitat 5? Whichever you choose, rest assured our Pathfinders have carefully vetted all colony worlds to ensure your security and prosperity.
Oh boy.
Habitat 7. That's where we landed. She's way out of date.
Yeah, she is. Not to mention, did we really think we were going to show up in a brand new galaxy and have nothing already living here? Like, just a bunch of inhabitable planets that we could just show up and kind of take for ourselves? Really? That's what we thought?
What is the Nexus?
The Nexus serves as the central hub for the Andromeda Initiative's colonization efforts. It is the first destination for all colonists upon their arrival in the new galaxy. Please enjoy the many venues the Nexus has to offer. As the station expands, it will one day serve as the seat of government for Milky Way colonists. Providing a safe, stable, and prosperous environment is our primary goal.
Not from the looks of it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What year is it?
The current year is 2819. After spending over 600 years in stasis, it's normal to feel disoriented or confused upon arrival. Our helpful medical staff can assist with any physical or psychological after effects you may be experiencing.
Well, she's got the date right, at least.
So where is everyone?
Well, let's go find out.
That's all.
It has been my pleasure. Please see one of our helpful immigration staff for further assistance. And welcome to your new home in Andromeda, where the brightest star is you.
Lame.
Current wait time for immigration processing is unknown error.
Right. That was helpful.
Yeah. Scan that. Really, these people were so
Plants are still
naive and
alive.
stupid. Yeah, I guess they are. Like, they built space stations and spaceships that could take us into cryostasis and bring us way out
Finish
here.
building it.
Right. But they didn't think about, like, all of the contingencies and plans, and
Hello?
it just seems really dumb. Like, this was just a dumb, naive thing to do, guys.
There's a guy.
Hey,
Maybe
you're right, it
he's
is a
got
guy. Yes, in his backpack, probably. Hello. Can we have the champagne
Hi
now?
there. We're from Ark Hyperion, and wondering where everybody went.
Did he hear you?
Did you say an Ark?
Problem?
This is the Nexus, right? Pretty sure we parked in the right place.
And for what it's worth, your VI over there could use an update.
Of course, I'm sorry. It's just, we thought you were all dead.
What?
Or captured, or lost in dark space, or... But you're here. You have no idea how much this means.
I don't believe it.
Hey, Turians.
I'm Tyrion Kandros. I lead our militia on the Nexus.
I'm Ryder. This is Cora Harper and Liam Costa, part of the Pathfinder team.
I'm sorry for the confusion. Our sensors told us an Ark had arrived, but Helios is notorious for scrambling equipment. We thought you were just another malfunction.
Oh, yeah, no, we're here.
Well, I've got a shipload of people that says we're here.
Of course, it's just... You're the first Ark we've seen. After a year of waiting and no sign of the others, we shuttered this area and stopped looking.
You've been stranded for a whole year?
Longer. I'll fill you in on the way to Op Center.
Yes, well, at least we have Turians, okay? Finally, somebody that's not human. I mean, that sounds really mean and racist, but
Everything that could go
seriously.
wrong with our plan has. We arrived 14 months ago. Right away, we hit a band of dark energy that knocked us off course.
We're familiar with it.
Then you'll know why we call it the Scourge. We lost whole sections of the station. A lot of people died. No power, no food. The chaos went on for months. It finally led to armed rebellion. When order was restored, the insurgents were banished. Exiles, we call them.
Are things back to normal?
Not even close. But you're here now, so maybe the worst is over.
I was afraid to push the button while he was talking because I didn't want to cut him off. So,
No word
so
from the other
rebellion,
Pathfinders?
bad things, got it.
No word from anyone, period.
Any threats from the locals?
So far, we've stayed hidden. We're in no shape to deal with an attack.
We had a first contact situation on Habitat 7. Whole thing went south. They tried to kill us.
That wasn't first contact. We know about them. Those aliens are going to be a real problem.
This day just keep...
We're here.
It wasn't even
You
long
guys go
enough
ahead.
to facilitate
I'll
the
check out the
okay.
security situation.
You should know our command structure has been fractured. Some of us are filling in for leaders who died.
Is it true?
They said drop everything and report for duty.
And no one was expecting an Ark to finally show up.
Docking procedures agreeing across the board. Stand by to merge Hyperion power into the grid.
The crew of the Hyperion.
Good luck.
I'm Jaren Tan, director of the initiative. You have no idea how much your arrival means to us.
Not as much as it means to us. We had one hell of a time getting here. Nice to see some friendly faces.
Hungry faces. Any supplies you can spare would be appreciated.
This is Foster Addison. She oversees colonial affairs. Where's the Pathfinder?
You're looking at him.
You're not Alec Ryder.
My father's dead. He made me his successor.
Alec is dead. Please understand, the entire initiative is at risk. None of the Golden Worlds panned out. They're a bust, and there's been no word from the other arcs.
What happened to them?
Unknown. Our supplies are nearly depleted. Rationing bought us some time, but even that's running out.
We need to find more resources, but that takes people, and we can't wake them up.
Until they have somewhere to live. A golden world.
Now more than ever, we need a Pathfinder.
It now falls to you, Ryder. Are you up to the task?
Well, you know what? I probably have to be, so, let's hope so.
Well, we came a long ways for nothing if I'm not.
We'll all die if you're not.
That's no way to treat a guest. I'm Nak Morkesh, superintendent of this station. Hope they haven't scared you off already.
It's nothing personal, but now isn't the time for on-the-job training.
At least the Pathfinder here seems willing to try. We could use a fresh perspective.
You've heard my concerns. I'll leave you to it.
We're all feeling the pressure. Let's have a private word in my office, Ryder. We'll discuss giving you a scout ship. I'm happy to work out the details with your associate.
Welcome to the Nexus.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll talk about cash here in a minute. Let's just get through all of this.
Thank you for standing up for me there.
Hope's in short supply here. What little we can find should have a chance to
Ma'am, the
bloom.
Hyperion's core is now online.
Let me show you something. An hour ago, that was all dark. But with the power from your ship, you're keeping the lights on. You have my vote.
And when the power runs out?
You'd best go talk to Director Tan. Make sure that doesn't happen. And don't be shy. Come see me when you have a chance.
Well, okay, so here we are on the Nexus, the big hub of civilization here in Andromeda, I guess. And we've met some of our support characters. The most confusing of which is Kesh. Nakmor Kesh is obviously a Krogan. And what do we know about Krogans as of the original Mass Effect trilogy? Oh, let's see, they revere their females because they're in short supply because of the genophage. So what the hell is a female Krogan doing way out here? Well, inclusivity, I guess? Reasons, maybe? It really doesn't make any sense that they managed to not only get Krogans to agree to come here, but that they also brought their females and let them... Like, this sounds totally archaic and misogynistic, but in the lore of the world, that the male Krogans were okay with the female Krogans taking these kinds of power positions because it means that they will be in somewhat dangerous situations, quite possibly, and you can't risk losing the females because of the genophage. Again, sounds misogynistic, but within the lore of the game, that is how it works out for them. And I get that I guess they were trying to be progressive and trying to step away from the whole, you know, Krogan society is dominated by the male Krogans, which it wasn't dominated by the males. They revered the females, but it's because the females were important and reproduction was, you know, every 1 in, was it 1 in 1,000, 1 in 10,000? 1 in some ridiculous number of babies survives. The rest are stillborn or die shortly after birth. And it's just a thing. But it's weird that they are okay with splitting up the group and having some of them, a large group, as we'll find out later, come all the way out here, knowing that there's a chance that they won't be able to reproduce or survive out here. It's just so confusing and weird.
This is the planet where we landed. Habitat 7. It wasn't even close to livable.
That's been true of every world we found. Ryder, we were discussing your next expedition.
Good. I was starting to wonder who was in charge around here.
Director Addison is entitled to her opinion, and mine overrules hers.
Does she know that?
I oversee the entire initiative, and I have decided to give you a chance to prove yourself. To that end, the Scourge dealt us a serious blow. Whatever it is, our scientists theorize it's not natural.
An artificial energy cloud?
It wasn't here when we left the Milky Way, yet it rendered all the golden worlds unlivable. Then there's the aliens you ran into, the Ket. They're obsessed with alien structures we found scattered around the cluster. They'll do anything to prevent others from accessing them. It seems murder isn't exclusive to the Milky Way. And now the challenge is to settle a world in spite of all that. This one here. Eos.
How?
You need to increase the viability of the planet so we can establish an outpost. Then we can bring more colonists out of stasis. The more colonists we have, the more resources we can gather to support the Nexus. Everything depends on it. There are 6 worlds we hope to settle.
Okay, but you said every planet you found is unlivable. So, how do I...
A good Pathfinder would relish the challenge of solving it.
Right. I think I should go check on things.
And if I fail, I guess it's no sweat off your back, right? You'll just look for another Pathfinder?
Placing bets on people is part of my job. Some of them pay off. Others...
The way I see it, you need me. If I pull this off, maybe you'll look like the leader you pretend to be.
But first, you have to succeed at being the Pathfinder you pretend to be.
Where's my ship?
They're prepping it now in the docking bay. The coordinates for Eos will be in the computer. And when you have a moment, we should discuss the missing arcs.
I was wondering about that. Ah!
Something wrong?
Ryder, please see me and Sam Node on the Hyperion. Your implant needs attention, and we need to discuss a confidential matter.
No, I'm fine.
I just have people talking to me in my head. Okay, so I feel like the whole you need to increase the viability of the planet is weak writing on BioWare's part. It is the most video game reason to go do something. Like, not we have better reasons if you can go and make this planet livable. It's you need to increase the viability of this planet. There are going to be specific objectives for you to go do. Just go checkpoint them and we can stick people down there. Like, it just sounds so flat. Although Tan's an asshole, and I like that they gave him a personality like that. Like, there's palpable tension between the directors, Tan, Kesh, and Addison. Addison being just the worst, stiffest, most flat character on the, like, in the history of ever, almost. It's what it feels like. Especially for the rest of them to have some personality and some flavor to them. Addison's very flat, and Tan is very interesting. He's a sneaky Solarian, and some people have very negative opinions of the Solarians already. I really liked Morden Solus that we had in Mass Effect 2 and 3, and got kind of attached to the Solarians because of him, but I get the issues, and Tan is like the personification of all of those issues. He's kind of slimy, kind of skeezy. He seems like he's smart enough to know how to play the game, but he's not a player himself, I guess. It's weird. It's weird. And I know Sam's like, you need to come see me, but we also have another, like, sub-objective to talk to Tan, so I'm just gonna go ahead and be like, yeah, before I leave, let me see what you want to say.
Ryder, you may have a less than flattering view of me, but I want to express my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well, although I understand he played a key role in planning the initiative. I'm sure he'd be concerned that we still have several arcs missing.
They're as much a part of the initiative as the human arc. We'll find them.
We have to. Tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light. Did you have some other business?
I don't know what we're supposed to ask him about. I think we'll ask him all of these things later, but
Any
right
more
now.
information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the Initiative can never be fulfilled.
Are there any other arcs we should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first wave, but before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well. Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
All right, thanks.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
Of course, as you pointed out, we need each other. Our futures depend on each other's success.
So we're supposed to have other races at some point. Like, I guess that was going to be DLC, or maybe subsequent games. But, oh god, something's happening. As we know, that didn't work out. And there are no more games planned right now for Mass Effect, which got shifted from the studio that made this one, which I can't remember which studio developed this one, but it got shifted all back to Edmonton, which is the studio that did the original Mass Effect trilogy, so we'll see after this. But Quarians, we're not going to see. Hanar, Drell, any of those people, anybody that are not the main ones that we've mentioned, the ones that we have arcs for, we will not see anybody outside of that. Alright, let's talk to this guy.
Hey, you okay?
I'm fine. My arms got the brunt of it.
Stuff exploding like this happen often?
Back right after the mutiny, we had a lot of this happening. But not lately.
I wasn't there during the mutiny.
Lucky. I thought we were done with this, honestly. That maybe I was just being paranoid.
You know what they say. It's not paranoia.
If someone is out to get you, yeah. Third time this week. It's getting worse. First one was small stuff. This one could have hurt bad if I'd been closer.
That's not good. Sorry, understatement.
Yeah. And now I have more repairs.
Whoever's doing this has to be stopped before someone gets seriously hurt.
That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm an engineer, not a PI. I've scanned all the potential sabotage areas I can think of. But I don't know who to trust anymore.
Sounds like a lot went down before the Hyperion docked.
Yeah, I guess. Wait, that's it. You can't possibly be involved in this. You weren't even here during the mutiny. Would you, if you have time? Maybe you could help me. If they start hitting critical systems.
Sure thing. What can I do?
If you could scan these other panels while I fix this one, that'd really help. I've sent the locations to your Omni tool. Just send me the data when you're done.
Alright, well that seems easy enough. Scan the stuff. Luckily I know where I was gonna say I know where most of them are, but watch me not find one. That's fine. I'm pretty sure there's one right here. Which gives you basically
to cover their
these
tracks,
little
the
cords.
saboteur is overloading power to this panel from another junction relay. You can scan and trace the connective wiring to locate the surrogate panel.
Alright, which is up here, which will actually put us next to somebody else that we need to talk to.
Scanning power junction relays. This panel is malfunctioning. Without more data, I cannot determine if this is a normal malfunction or sabotage.
I'll just disable power to the panel until Raj can check it out.
That is an interesting hair color cut combo that you have. Whatever. Alright, Addison, let's talk to the cardboard lady.
Alright, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father. Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
What?
And right now, I just want to know what happened with Alec.
My face is tired. What? What does that... I don't... Is it because of... I mean, in the... Let me collect my thoughts, because that just every time is like a traffic stop to me. So originally when we first found out that there were serious facial animation issues with this game, it was largely her that got shown off a lot. Like, how bad her face looked, the complexion, the shading, everything. I can't help but wonder if this was a writer's attempt at kind of making a joke about that situation, but it's awful. And you should never do that again, writer. I'm sure that sounded like writer. I said, oh, you know what? Never mind. Alright, so we'll just keep going with this before it totally breaks my brain.
In the moment, it saved my life. But it seems my father meant for me to get the role eventually.
It isn't hereditary. If we wanted an inbred monarchy, we could have left half our gene stock back home. Not home. The Milky Way. This is home. This mess. We don't have a lot of options, Ryder. Maybe you'll prove your father right. After 14 months of failed colonization, forgive me if I don't hold my breath.
She's kind of a bitch. Like, I get that they're trying to give you dynamic people here, but they really went a little far with her.
There's also the strange technology. Has anyone studied that?
We've tried. Not me. The brains in research. They're supposed to know their business. The current excuse? The tech we dug up on Mars was more advanced, but it was plug and go. The tech here thinks different? I don't know. We've mostly avoided it. And from what the Hyperion logs say about Alec, maybe that's good.
She's so combative. And she's ready to throw anybody under the bus. He's like, so we found this strange tech. She's like, yeah, I know about it. And all of these smart people are already looking into it, but they're not smart enough. Like, okay, we get it that it's not your fault, but seriously, why don't you calm down a little bit?
How do you fit into the Nexus leadership?
I oversee the actual settlement effort. As the number of outposts is currently less than ideal, my influence is limited. As Tan is quick to remind me. Left a perfectly adequate career as a chief officer. Provincial capital, too. Only a new galaxy could pull me away. And here we are, idling.
Oh, well, you know, yeah, it's definitely not your fault in any way.
You've had no colony successes in over a year. How many tries is that?
Less than you'd think. The Scourge, spoiled worlds, exiles, hostiles. We can't just plop down an outpost and expect picket fences. We need the Pathfinder and Sam to scout, evaluate, and inspire. The initiative promised a goal. Andromeda has not cooperated.
And if it had?
Beautiful utopian horseshit. Colonies that produce and support each other. The Nexus as Citadel. Not headed by Tan. Or even me.
There must be some kind of plan for encountering hostile aliens. We can't have been that naive.
We expected life, not an enemy that refuses to talk. They don't attack, they disinfect. We're nothing until we're bacteria. Sorry, 14 months and you stoop to poetry. That's how bad it is. Talk to Kandros if you haven't. He's unfortunately become the head of our military. And as soon as he realizes it, we're in the shit.
You don't trust him?
I trust him to defend us. I do not trust a rising military influence in a supposedly civilian initiative. We came here to make history, Ryder, not repeat it. Ugh, goddamn poetry.
Okay, again, I would just like to point out how dumb and naive it was that we came to a new galaxy with little arms, like as far as armaments and weapons and stuff goes, because we wanted to try to make peace first, and we did not think that there would be any sort of opposition, or at least one strong enough to tell us, like, no without actually saying no. They said no with their guns. We didn't really think this out, did we, Andromeda Initiative head founder people? I get the idea, but you didn't put any contingencies in place. What is wrong with you people?
You called my father Alec. No one does that.
A lot of us joined the initiative because of his vision. What he shared of it, anyway.
Were you friends? Or...
I'm not your new mother, if that's what you're asking.
Thank God.
Or his friend. He hated that I didn't use his title. But no one's a Pathfinder until they've path-found something. Much like a colonial director without colonies.
So, should I not use your title because it's a show of respect, you dumb... Okay. I'll go, bye.
Excuse me, Director Addison.
Ryder?
It's Pathfinder.
Ryder.
Right?
We're starving here. If we don't get a foundation of outposts to feed the initiative, we might as well be 600 years dead. Alec promised a lot. None of it panned out. That's what you're up against. Why people won't trust you. why I don't trust you. Prove me wrong.
Like, it's some sort of challenge. Just step off, woman. I mean, seriously. God, what just, oh my god. Like, I get it. It's one of those things where it's like, I guess at least they did enough writing that they gave you something to feel about her, but it is so negative that I just want to punch people. And it's, I don't know. I feel like they failed a little on that. It's like, good, you did something that elicited a feeling,
Scan
but
and trace the wiring to
it's
locate
kind
the
of
panel
just
that the saboteur
dumb.
used.
Alrighty, should be, is it in Cash's office or right there? I think it's that one.
Scanning. This panel has been tampered with.
Send the data to Raj.
Yes, Pathfinder.
Alright, let's talk to Cash. Does she have stuff in here that I'm gonna take? Yes, stuff I'm gonna steal from you. Thanks. I don't know what that is. Datapad I'm gonna read because I like to just snoop. I didn't actually read it, I just, you know.
Yes,
yeah.
I know. There you are. Hope the others haven't been giving you a hard time. There's a lot that needs doing. At least with the Hyperion hooked up and feeding us power, my team and I can get more work done.
I noticed there aren't a lot of Krogan around.
You haven't spoken to number 8 yet, have you?
Number 8?
Tan. Ask him why most of my people left. He'll have opinions. I can tell you this much. When the mutiny happened, a deal was made. My clan were supposed to settle matters and, in return, get more say in the initiative.
Did the deal go through?
The clan held up their part, but Tan had a meltdown when he found out we wanted more say around here. Then Addison's assistant, Spender, pretended he never made the deal in the first place. It was a mess, but I don't blame my people for walking out. We're done being used.
With your clan gone, why did you stay?
It's complicated. The station and my clan both need me here.
Okay. We will probably repeatedly discuss some of the weird, random, wrong things about the Krogans being here, but now is not that time.
Why do you call Tan 8?
Because he was 8th in line to take over the Andromeda initiative. I like to remind him of that now and then. Keep him humble.
What sort of problems have you seen on the Nexus?
Situation's gone to shit pretty much sums it up. There's arcs missing. Some idiots tried to mutiny and take over, then more idiots offended my clan, so they left. And to top it all off, the founder of the initiative, Jean Garson, was killed.
What happened to Jean Garson?
Killed in the Scourge disaster. Her and a bunch of the other leaders. Tan might know more.
And I thought the Hyperion had it bad when we arrived. Anything else?
The outposts aren't happening because we don't have resources or people, so Addison's more uptight than ever. And let's not forget how badly the station was damaged on arrival. But that's a detail, according to some. My team and I are repairing what we can. If we don't get materials soon, things will go downhill. Fast.
What kind of work do you do as superintendent?
I was part of the team that originally designed and built this place. I keep the station functional, or as functional as possible, considering.
Oh, look, we can actually ask about the genophage.
When we left the Milky Way, the Krogan were still dealing with the genophage.
Right. The genophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn. Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
No wonder your people have such a problem with Solarians.
Some wounds never heal. Not that my ancestors didn't provoke it. They did try to conquer the galaxy. The Solarians were forced to respond. And it's not fair to blame it all on them, either. The Solarians developed the virus, but it was the Turians who deployed it. I'm hoping that's all in the past. Plenty of blame to go around, but Andromeda is about new beginnings. My people need that more than most.
That is like the most level-headed Krogan response ever. Usually it's, they poisoned us, kill them all. Okay then.
What about the Krogan here in Andromeda?
There's no cure for it. But my clan was starting to show a mutation against the virus. A natural defense. During the trip to get here, Krogan underwent gene therapies to enhance the mutation while we were in stasis.
So you used those 600 years to your advantage. Gave the adaptation more time to develop.
Yeah. It's still early, but I think we made a dent. Our scientists say we've improved viability to almost 4%, which is a lot better than what we had. Beyond all the statistics, it means more Krogan children will live. It's the only way my people have a future out here.
When she says our scientists, I am going to assume that she means the scientists here on the Nexus, because as Rex said in the first Mass Effect, have you ever heard of a Krogan scientist? No, really? That's not surprising. Alright, let's go.
Nothing more for now.
Later.
It just seems like a really flimsy reason. Like, you have a mutation in your genes that might allow you to help your clan start reproducing properly again. Okay, why don't you pack up and move to another galaxy? See you guys later. What? You what? Seriously? Where's that last panel? Sorry, I was looking for the last panel real quick, and I don't remember where it's at. This is what I get for saying I knew. Over here?
Like Quiro's rockfish.
Maybe I don't know where the last one is. Maybe that will just have to be put on hold for a second. Did somebody just get punched? No, okay, just checking. Alright, I'm just gonna go over here and talk to Kandros and continue on our main set of stuffs.
I know that look. The others bent your ear, did they?
Something like that?
You get used to it. Just focus on being a Pathfinder. Can't argue with results, though they'll try. Anyway, welcome to Militia HQ. Excuse the mess. This office fields militia work, Nexus security, and looking for the Turian Ark.
What's the word on the Turian Ark?
Scattered readings. Some indicate the Natanus was destroyed, others that people are alive. Who knows? If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
It's rough out there. I might need backup, if you can spare the people.
I have strike teams specializing in assault and extraction. If you need serious firepower, my Apex teams have you covered. In fact, I could give you authority to dispatch them. It'll cut down their response time.
Thank you.
Our current ops are on the terminal. See if there's anything that could use a shot where it counts.
What do you know about the enemies we've encountered? The Ket?
We usually see them on worlds with those alien structures. The Ket don't take kindly to anyone studying them. Not sure why. They don't talk to us. Every time we cross paths, there's a fight or they take prisoners.
Why? What do they want?
No one knows. But I've seen their weaponry and what they do to those prisoners. I want them a long, long way from the Nexus.
I feel like the Turians in this game don't move their mandibles enough. Like their little jaw pieces, they're just so static now. Also, the super white with, like, I don't know, mold, algae, grass, something growing on it. I don't know. They look weird. A little weird.
What brought you out here to Andromeda?
I was tired of being the good one.
The good one?
The Kandros family is old military. There were expectations, you know? Then my sister became a sculptor and cousin Irene went pirate on Omega. Everyone was proud that I stayed in service. But I kept wondering, when do I get my adventure? Jen Garson's dream was so grand, so gutsy, I had to be part of it.
You talk like you weren't part of the leadership. How did you end up commanding the militia?
I was escorting a prospecting team on some moon when those Ket found us. They penned us like cattle for experiments. I managed to get loose, snatched a gun, and freed the others. By the time we killed the bastards and headed back to war on the Nexus, everyone looked at me like I was in charge.
That sounds familiar.
The militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
Are the other Turians managing okay?
So-so. We're not good at sitting around in a crisis. Service before self gets drummed into us at boot camp. That's probably why so many of us are in the militia. We like to earn our citizenship, whatever galaxy we're in. But it's hard to focus with our arc missing.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
I really like Kandros, but I think I'm just like partial to the Turians. I love them. They're my favorites.
It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
Exile, huh? Guess it wasn't for having a hand in the cookie jar.
They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have... There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
Okay. I think that's our other panel. I saw it while she was talking to us. It's like, okay, maybe that's it. Let's... Can you please? Thank you.
Pathfinder, I received the data from Sam. It really is sabotage.
Any idea as to who it might be?
Yeah. All these panels were worked on by Zara. I just can't believe it.
Security video logs confirm that Zara Kellis worked on these panels, as well as the one Raj Patil encountered.
Well, shit. Any idea where she is now?
Kellis is currently working on a panel on the Hyperion main deck.
Well, we'll take care of that in a minute. Let's talk to the person in jail first. Who do I have to talk to? You?
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanting to chat with you.
The Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
Your wife's all broken up over this. She says you didn't do it, and that she loves you.
She's a wonderful person. At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
Last I checked, getting into a spat wasn't against the law.
There's more. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
I'm so sorry, that's awful.
We were close. He was a stubborn son of... I admired that about him. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
Don't throw in the towel yet. I'll review the evidence. Maybe I can find something that'll help.
That would be great. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
Alright, speak with Candace. Basically, a lot of the side quest stuff is run back and forth. That's how most side quests are, and I'd say like 80% of games. It's just, go here, talk to this person. Okay, go talk to somebody you've already talked to.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
I spoke with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
It doesn't seem right to put all that on him.
Of course it isn't, but that's the perception. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
And you assume he's lying?
What's a lie to a murderer? Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
That's gotta be the worst parting ever. Like, the worst I gotta go by. It's just so weird. I think I already read that one. Where was this? There's the recording.
The Nexus versus colonist Nilken, evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation!
We're not giving up, Nilken. We're taking it back.
No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to...
No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Okay, well, that's, you know, a fight. Alright, gotcha. We'll talk to this lady and then we'll probably have to call it. I don't know how long I've been recording. I can't see the time from here. She's up here. I don't know why I was trying to talk to that guy again.
I'm not seeing any of your requisitions in the Hyperion.
It should be this lady with the weird hair.
Cassidy Shaw? I'm Ryder. I'm looking into the Nilken murder case.
Oh man, I thought that was over with. Have you heard the audio recording of their fight?
Yes.
I helped pull him off Chief Reynolds. You could see it in his eyes. He was gonna kill him. Then in the sandstorm, I had a pretty clear view of the Chief. He looked right at Nilken and shouted no. Then his chest burst open. I'll never forget it. The look on his face was pure shock.
That's pretty awful.
Reynolds was leading you back to retake the compound. Did you agree with that?
It wasn't my place to agree or disagree. He was ranking officer. In retrospect, it is ironic. If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
Did you see any cat in the vicinity?
Nilken said so, but not that I could see. Still, the sandstorm was severe. Visibility wasn't great.
Did Nilken seem remorseful?
I lost sight of Nilken in the turmoil. When we found him, he seemed in shock. He couldn't speak. He looked nauseated. Could have been guilt. The reality of the act sinking in.
If they'd fought and Nilken threatened to kill him, why was Reynolds surprised?
Friends fight, say things they don't mean, maybe even hurt each other. But you don't expect your best friend to shoot you. To me, that's the saddest part. The Chief's heart was broken right before it exploded.
Oh, now that just makes it really sad.
I appreciate the information.
Of course. It kills me we had to leave him behind. He deserved a proper funeral.
So the body was never examined? Important piece of a murder investigation.
Tian wouldn't allow a mission to go back for him. Said it was too dangerous.
Oh, well, guess what we're gonna do, because we're the Pathfinder, and that's how it is. Okay, I know we need to go talk to Tan to finish that up. Let me see, is there anything else here that we need to do? That's the office stuff. Oh, side quest. Yeah, I guess we need to go talk to those guys. Talk to Tan. Alright, so we'll finish up talking to everybody next time. Can I save the game here? Yes, finally. Alright. So we'll finish up talking to everybody next time. We'll go back to the Hyperion, talk to Sam, get back on our panel thing for that guy. We got a lot of side quests to do before we can get out into the world and start actually looking at the galaxy. So, thanks for hanging out. I'd love to know your thoughts on all of this. You want to debate the whole Krogan thing? You want to talk about Solarians? You want to discuss the genophage or whatever else, you know? I'm always open to having discussions, and the comment section down below is there. Or you can hit me up on Twitter. I'm at GriffSlinum on Twitter, same as my YouTube name here. So, yeah, let's talk about some stuff. It'll be fun. I'll see you guys later.